Okay, we should be streaming.
Yeah. And it may be different. All right.
Here too.
It is week 8. It's Tuesday. We're here in what is this? Pembroke Estates or whatever, wherever we're at. It's time for the picks. Steve is gonna give us a little sound check here.
No.
Last week I was a little. I had the music a little loud. Chad, you could have let me know that I had the music a little loud. No. AC making a guest appearance there in the back.
I don't think we have a link for the people. There should be.
Yeah.
Is it that the one we're doing right now though? Because the link that I clicked is the other one.
It's never a Tuesday stream without some technical difficulties.
I think we have to do the recreate and resend the link.
No, I think we're good. I think the folks behind the scenes right now can share the link to the current live into the group.
Oh yeah, can you go to the page and do that?
Yeah. Where we are live right now.
Yeah, that'll work.
No,
I believe in him to handle it.
They, them, him, her, whoever it is behind the scenes.
Are you implying we have a guest today?
I'm saying that there's a possibility we could have some sort of guest today, and I'm here for that. So I haven't even opened my beer. It's been a stressful start to the stream, all right?
It is.
It's all right.
As you can see, we're back outside.
I like a little free banter too, and then if anybody wants to come in and start being an asshole to Chad, they can. Give a little time. They click the link and. Our behind-the-scenes people,
feel free to talk to us about our shitty videos via text message on WhatsApp.
Comments and concerns, please. I gotta admit, I haven't had a bush light in a while. I haven't had a bush light, not since my college days.
I thought you were gonna leave the window open for a joke. I haven't had a bush in a while.
Oh man, see that comes with more experience. That'll come with more.
Here you go. While we try to work through some of these technical difficulties, is there anything? Anything
that we got good sound? Love it.
Anything you'd like to talk about before we get started? Anything you'd like to bring up?
I don't.
Anything that we can't wait until we get into the picks?
I don't think there's anything that I really want to talk about.
I wish I would remember to tell you guys.
I
wish I would remember to tell you guys in last week's video that there was no buys this week. That was a nice little treat.
Oh yeah,
everybody had a game, so there's a lot to choose from.
Everyone was playing.
I cannot think of anything unique, forward-thinking into this week. Yeah. I don't think we even go across the pond this week. Nothing's in Mexico.
No, I think 2 weeks that Germany game. It's like the Giants and some other team that doesn't matter.
All right,
the Panthers or something.
Well, then hearing none. There's no better time than the present to introduce our very first guest on the picks, other than the family in the background playing catch.
I am very excited. I'm sure you guys were wondering why there's a chair just sitting there in the middle.
That's interesting.
Wasn't a mistake.
What's interesting is the vehicle that this person drives is right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, love that.
So, but nobody on here knows what vehicle he drives. We
or
have
she drives,
the one,
whoever
the only money maker mayor. How's he doing? Danny the Worm, the Silkworm Pelchat.
Privilege and honor to be here, boys. Good to see everybody. It has been overdue.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We had a nice little quick chat, and we'll do this for anybody who wants to come on for a nickname. And we ended up on the Money Mayor right here because, as you guys know, this dude ran the city, saved us during COVID. He's a legend. He's a myth. And he's live with you and us right now. How you doing, buddy?
Happy to be here.
I love that he's got the Circa hat on, and we use the Circa numbers.
Yeah, no, that is true.
Pick,
and
so
I told
not by accident.
Shout out to Circa if you want to.
Earlier, look, I got to get into character. We're going to be talking about gambling.
Yeah.
Ran into my buddy Skip at the Stout. He's like, "What, are you going to gamble?" I go, "No, we're going to go get on a live stream and talk about it then."
That's right. That's right. With the Money Mayor, this is gold. So, I see nothing else to do other than to get right into it. Anything you want to talk about real quick other than specific games?
We kind of talked about it pre-game.
How do you like doing the picks?
Discuss.
Talk to me about that. What do you like about the picks? What do you don't like about the picks? Let's put them on the hot seat.
Oh man, see, I love the picks.
Love it. Give them the hard question.
I try to not be high maintenance.
You do a good job at that.
I
appreciate it.
I do stress. I would say, I think this is just a personal reflection on how I handle it. I should be more geared up to be ready earlier in the week. I feel like I let some things sneak by on possible, like, hey, who doesn't want to get down on a little bit of Sunbelt Wednesday, right? Or like,
Isn't that
you know,
hard? It's hard sometimes to stay off the Thursday games, Mike.
You know what I mean? If I had time to look at them, am I being a little aggressive? And then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you're like, oh, the team I had to lean on is blowing them out 38-0.
Yeah.
Now, I would also tell you to watch out for that night where you're like, oh, yeah, UTEP sucks, and then they decide to show up and play football.
Right,
and then you're sitting there and you know you're 0-1 on a Thursday. That's rough.
And especially how college football is now. With you got the transfer portal, you got now teams that were not relevant before are starting to be kind of relevant. So, and I feel like we did a lot more of those last year. We had a lot more, not a bunch in there, but more than we have this year with the Wednesday game.
And I can say this from a personal note. The introduction of NCAA 25 back into our lives has me looking at an SMU number every single week.
I totally agree with you, Tulane, for myself, and even Fresno State.
Yeah. I haven't gone that route yet and actually selected them, but they were hot to start the season, and I definitely thought
I've
about
caught
it.
myself on the green wave a couple times this year, and actually I think I've danced with Fresno, too.
Nice.
You know? It's a team you know.
Here's a question I'm going to ask everybody that makes their way over here. How much time a week do you spend on making your picks for the picks?
Oh, I like that question.
An honest average or so. Like, what could you give me?
Okay, so that's a tough answer.
It is.
Tough question
It's not
to answer, but
it's
here's
not
what I'll tell
easy.
you. There is
That's what you're going to get when you come here. It's a tough question.
There's a carved out time for me on Saturday morning and Sunday morning where I am alone from the family to finalize my picks.
Okay, so we're talking about an hour each day?
I try to keep it to a half an hour because
Okay.
we've got a lot going on over there at the house.
Yeah.
But I would also say that I probably listen to 30 hours of Eason during the week too.
Sure. Yeah.
So I get to hear a lot of different perspectives on the games. I think the hardest thing I end up falling into is forming my own opinion. A lot of times I'd like to form my own opinion before I start hearing feedback, and then of course you're like, well, of course I like the feedback that supports my belief.
Sure.
But I think it is kind of important to have a side before you start to hear everyone's opinion on it.
I agree.
Now, you can turn me. Stevie turned me on the Vikings last week, all for the bad.
And that's all it takes.
But,
It's just one person's idea where you're like, oh man, I can really put water in that.
A different perspective.
all I'll say is I had a different angle on the game where I was like, look, if I'm going to sit here and I'm gambling on a game, I'd rather be rooting against the Vikings. where I was going to be on the Vikings earlier in the day.
Yeah. So in your heart, you want to root against them.
I think I actually had that backwards, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, 100%. All right, well, good. So we got Danny P for about an hour a week. I would say I think I'm under that when it comes to like really thinking about the actual picks. Like you said, I spend a lot of time thinking and listening to podcasts and thinking about everything. But when I pick my actual picks, it's probably under an hour or near that.
Yeah, when it comes down to actually. All right, it's crunch time. Gotta make the picks. Gotta send them in.
Now, there's definitely been a Saturday morning where it was like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So like those days are real.
You've seen my emails. They come in at 11:59 a.m. on a Saturday before. I was literally like, I have to hit send right now.
When you find
Games are
yourself in
about
that
to start.
situation, here's one tip I would put out there. Not that I want anyone to beat up on me and my numbers. I mean, I'm not in first, but earlier in the week, I might put a little mark by game that I'm interested in. And then that way, when I'm able to come back to it later in the week, I can at least start with that group of games.
Sure. Yeah.
Because let's be honest, the NFL ticket, we all can break down 17 whatever games like relatively quickly. That college board, if you're looking for value and you're looking for, everyone at the end of the day wants that rocking chair win.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. And you got to dig on those.
I find myself looking for like the prime time game, and then hoping that like I'm leaning on a side that looks like it's going to be good value with our numbers that are printed out early and where I'm getting it now, and it's going to be on TV, and I might actually have a time to watch it or at least have it on in the background. So interesting. All right, well, hey, there you go. Welcome, Money Mayor. I'm glad you're here. We're going to throw him some picks. We're going to hear his thoughts. And we're going to start with Chad, as we always do, in alphabetical order. One of the co-winners of the first Race to 25. Congratulations tip of the cap.
Congrats to you guys.
25 bones to you. I do need to make a note to send that money. I apologize.
I was gonna. Are we all squared up on?
No,
the
we're not. And that's one of the things I was going to add to the email. And listen, I'm not.
I don't handle the financials of the league. All right.
I'm not going to come hounding for money at all. I'm just going to make it known who hasn't paid, and that way, like, if you win and you know Chris hasn't paid, like, that's a you guys conversation. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to be that guy. So if you send it to me, I'll gladly hold it and distribute it accordingly.
Wait, I don't. Right?
I don't know. I need to go back to my draft. I think about half.
Posted, let me know.
I think you did. I think Worm did. That might be it. I don't know if Chad did or not. But either way,
yeah.
Chad, the co-winner in the race to 25. Now we're resetting on the race to 25.
Yep.
So that's going to start out fresh. But your points that you've accumulated to this point will carry on, and you'll understand what I mean as we go forward. Would you like to start Chad out, or would you like me to send you?
I'll tell you what. You start. Yeah.
All right. Uncle Chad, he had a fantastic week in NCAA this week. He went OSU Nebraska over 49. That was a loss. Good job. He had the Texas minus 18. I believe they won by a touchdown or less. That was a loss. Great job on that one. That's 0-2 if you're keeping track at home.
They only won by 3.
Yeah, that was a close game.
Yeah.
Navy Notre Dame. Now I'm going to take an L on you with L on this one with you also, buddy. You had the Stones to take the Navy plus 13.5. Now, listen, I did watch the first half, and that's about all I could stomach. These guys were just literally giving the ball back to Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to punt it?
I did.
You want to punt it to me? Here, let it go through my hands and off my midsection and right back to you. Yeah. Would you like to be closer for more points? Yeah. Navy actively tried to lose that game. That was devastating to watch.
I had it on until it started to get out of hand.
It was terrible.
I only have one TV, so, not all of us have 3 TVs on the wall. So we got to pick and choose.
15 seconds on the game, I felt bad for Navy. Here's the thing. In a normal year, in Army and Navy are both having this incredible year. They haven't been ranked like this since post-World War II. I think Navy, and I watched the majority of the game, had a problem with where they're normally getting hyped up to cause an upset. They were looked at as an equal here, and I just feel like it ate them up. The mistakes were there. I mean, obviously Notre Dame has athletes.
But it was mistakes. It was fumbles off the chest, a pitch to my forehead, a fumble, a punt through my wickets.
Execution.
So does that fall back to coaching that has gotten them to this point, or is it just the moment?
They're a bunch of college kids. I mean, look, you go to Navy, you're committing yourself for 4 years of service for this country. Like these other kids at Notre Dame, they think they're going to the pros. Like every one of them. You go and interview any of those kids, and you go to Notre Dame, they think they're going to the pros. So look, slight probably talent advantage for Notre Dame, and you know what? Navy was on a bad day. It ate them up. I can't wait for that Army Navy game.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good one. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to the number on Navy this week. Yeah, maybe get a little buy low situation. Yep. So Chad, that's a great 0-3 for you on the college game. That's 0 wins and 3 losses for the Ohio State Buckeye of the group. Chris, how did he do in the NFL?
In the NFL, hopefully he did a little better. Let me take a sip. He had Kansas City minus 10 versus Las Vegas. Kansas City hasn't been covering spreads
I wrote minus
at all. I don't know what you were thinking on that one. That's a loss. He had the Niners minus 5 versus the Cowgirls, as he put it in the email.
He did.
I wrote it down. I wrote it down, Chad. I got you, buddy. They won 30-24, so just got in there by 6. So that's a win. And then he had, as he put it in his email, the Detroit Lions minus 11.5. That is a big, big win right there. To go 2-1 in the pro, kind of save him a little bit. 2-4 on the week.
Hey, no, that's a big deal now.
Oh yeah,
just like you go 0-3,
you're sweating Sunday.
Yeah, just like getting that first win on
Sunday.
Yeah.
Getting that first win on Saturday, you're to kind of like exhale a little bit, like okay, cool. Yeah. So coming out hot on Sunday, we all have, my friend. All right, so Chad, that's going to make you 2-4 on the week, sir. Now you are at 2 points in the new race to 25. Your record is a very nice 27-20-1. That's going to give you 27.5 season points. Yep, very respectable. Nice job, Chad.
Really quick tidbit, just to throw in at the end of that, guys, we got to stop betting the Chiefs.
Yeah. Chris has been saying it for a while.
I know I'm low in the standings, but
he's been all right.
Stay away from the Chiefs.
And I didn't have it in the picks this week, but I definitely rode with them, and it cost me.
Yeah.
All right, Chiefs don't cover.
They win. They just win really close games. They've won every game, and so many have been close. That freaking Ravens game. The toe out of the end zone is too close. I don't mess with them.
All right, Wormy.
All right.
Okay.
Why don't you take half of Chris's? I usually I
this
do
is
all of
weird.
yours.
Okay,
This
cool.
is weird. This is
so
awesome.
I just had to make sure. So we're on week 8. I'm new to the teleprompter.
So yeah, here's our.
So I've got
We
it.
do need to get the pad where you can
sometimes
circle.
Steve
And,
zooms in for me. He has
that's
not done
nice.
that this
No, that's
time.
would you like a zoom
Nope,
in?
I'm
Give
good.
him a
All right.
zoom.
All right.
Yeah,
Give him
so
a
we're up
zoom.
here.
Chris's week 8 picks for the NCAA starts out with the University of Central Florida. It looks like they were getting a point and a
That's
half.
correct. It won't let me put it a plus sign.
So that's fine. Lots of people were on this game saying BYU. They pulled off like 8 Mormon miracles to be undefeated.
Yep.
That's why I went the other side.
Went to
man.
Orlando and
Why I went to the other
just
side. Yeah.
handled
Yeah.
it.
They did.
I think they're one of the only teams that have
37.
covered every game so far this season.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like 8-0 covered.
And you know what?
37-24.
Right. Hey, and they're in the Big 12. Like that's a fun storyline.
It sure is.
As much as I haven't been much of a BYU believer.
No.
I was regretting that.
No,
As
me
soon as I
neither.
saw that line, it
neither.
was like midway through the first quarter. I'm like, you should have thrown a little high.
It started as
You're
UCF
gonna give me points
minus
with an
1.5.
undefeated team? What are we talking about?
Right?
Yeah.
So, but okay, so tough loss there. First one. This was a great pick by you, and this didn't start out well. Texas A&M covers the 3 at home with the 12th man. LSU came out. I was on LSU.
I was too.
I just was at a point where it's like, I know that's a dangerous and tough place to play. LSU came out, played a decent first half, and then Texas A&M went just
Nuclear,
on the
dude.
second half.
Yeah. Out of control. I thought Nussmeier was going to show like he did against USC in the beginning of the season. Where I'm a little bit biased because I really put a lot of stock in that game. I thought we were watching 2 of the top 5-6 teams in college football. So I've thought
saw
that
that, right?
through this point. I really thought this was going to be a spot where Nussmeier came back and like showed like, wait a second, I am that guy.
Yep.
And what in the second half, it just was a bomb that was in his hands the whole time.
And I'll just be the first one to say it. I can't even remember the guy's name they hired at Texas A&M, but you know what you have at LSU, and you think you know old Kelly's got himself a ball team down there, and he's got the accent going, and they played a turd in the second half.
It sure did, buddy.
And I was immediately regretting it because I actually don't really like LSU.
Yeah.
And it's easy to root for Texas A&M when they're at home because of the crowd.
Yeah.
So sorry, I'll move this along. I know I'm dragging.
No, you're
this out.
fine.
You're
Take
good.
your
I'm
time.
new here.
We're pleased you're here.
Yeah.
We're trying to drag it out a little
Right.
bit. Just we're so happy you're here.
So at that point, Chris was 1-1 on the day, and then you knew he was going home to the shed here.
Had to.
Goes with
Had to.
MSU getting 5, had a good line. We all had the same line, but that was a good line. And Spartans look good. Maybe some coaching miscues, throughout the game.
I
the
don't
second
think
half,
Jonathan Smith quite understood the rivalry until
and
he
that's fair.
experienced the rivalry, and because I was waiting for those, D'Antonio, he always had those plays.
Well, and keep in mind, really quick, just to jump in, D'Antonio came from the region too. I don't know Smith's background. I don't know where he's from originally, but D'Antonio had spent time in Cincinnati.
Yeah,
he understood the region.
Jonathan Smith comes from Oregon State.
Well, right,
So,
that was his
you're
school,
right,
but
yeah.
was he originally from the West Side too?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay.
And you had Oregon State, Oregon, you had that rivalry and all that, but it's not this rivalry, and I think he figured that out. And young team,
Child's
young
good.
quarterback. Yeah, just there's some miscues, and why are we not throwing to Nick Marsh is what I'd like to know. But anyways, it was a loss. It was a loss.
Yep. No, it was a tough game for those on the Spartan side. They were getting 5, and I think a lot of people were like, well, just give me the Spartans. Like, no one can score. Like, the 5 should cover it.
I did say last week on the stream that if it was a touchdown, I was going to take State. And I still went with it on the 5, and they lost by a touchdown. But I had to.
So
I had to. I take
at
it every
the end
year.
of
I take it
Chris's
every
college
year.
Saturday, he was 1-2, heading into a big Sunday. Stevie, you want to take it over?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I want that smirk to come off his fucking
I
face. So
do.
let's move it along now. He's over there just grinning.
Listen, there'll be more to come from the standpoint of a Michigan Wolverine.
Oh, I'm sure of that. I'm sure of that.
We might talk about that a little bit.
Oh, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. There's a lot more coming.
I think we save our beverages for that part of the show. Maybe.
All right. Yeah.
Get to my NFL. Jeez. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
So
Steve.
just sorry, I'm trying to
Got me
really
next
just
to
grow
two-
up.
two
I'm trying to be
Wolverines.
more mature about things, but
I'm
yeah,
trying to
Michigan
get over
State
the
lost,
I appreciate it.
and it was great.
So I put you there.
All right, so
We
we're
need a
going to
bumper
move on to the NFL for Uncle Chris. He took San Francisco Dallas under 46.5. I never even considered that, which blew my mind as a over-under better, like out of control. And that was a fucking great bet, I thought, but it was lost. I thought it was a great bet. When I wrote it down, I was like, man, that's money.
Yeah, it wasn't by much though. What was it? That
It was very close.
Okay, it was by a little bit.
That was, I think they did get in the 30s and
It was
20s.
it was low early. It was
I
looking
think
good.
Mike
early.
had one. Mike lost by a hook. I thought it was a great bet. I'm sorry I didn't come in. I'm not even being an asshole. I thought that was a great
Yeah,
bet.
no.
Cincinnati, I thought, took some stones to take them, minus the 2.5. That was another loss. So he's
It
going
was
to be.
between them and the Browns, and I went the wrong.
You sure
I
did.
should have picked
The Browns would have been.
I was going with what Ohio
The
team?
Browns would have been sharp. Wish you would have done that one instead. 0-2 so far, and then he comes in with the college pick of the Detroit Lions covering, because that's all they do is score all the points needed to embarrass whoever's on the other side of the field. That was just a delight to watch. There's no point in even really talking about it because everybody feels exactly the same way. It's incredible. It's something that we've never seen in our life. Like, we're legitimately Super Bowl contenders, motherfuckers. We're one of the top 4 or 5 teams in the league on any given Sunday. I damn near would say, give me whoever you want and put fucking Hooker at quarterback. We're like that well coached. We're that much
Yeah.
of a unit. And
Yeah.
I want Jared Montana, obviously.
Right.
And we've got pieces that we can't lose, but we're so fucking good, and I love it all.
So you asked is this a trap game? When we were talking last week, and is this a trap game for them? And then you think about it for a second, and you're like, no,
It is
it's
with
too
that
well
old
coached.
mentality. Like, it's a
Yeah.
new mentality.
Yeah,
It's a
no.
and not
We're
even
learning
like,
how to be winning Lions fans.
and it's different from like anything that anybody else has ever done. Like what we're doing right now. Like
Yeah.
it really feels
Every
like
week
train
there's-
tracks are getting
there's a
laid
new
and there's a
thing.
train on it, and
Yeah.
nothing's taking it off.
Yeah.
We just lose Hutch and we just keep rolling. You know,
Yeah.
fuck.
I will admit to you the fact that I was afraid of the line.
I was too.
I didn't know Billy
I was-
Levi's wasn't playing.
Oh yeah,
so
spoiler
I
alert! You
think-
didn't get
No,
on that.
yeah,
Ill-advised.
Right, yeah, there was. Yeah, you never know.
I
Once the
almost
weekend starts, you know, all of a sudden
Ill-advised,
they're
Mr. Levi.
they're marching out the back of quarterback.
Hey, we do have to talk real quick. Sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt
you're
you,
fine.
but it hit me. Taylor Decker can't be doing what he's doing.
No,
I'm gonna need him to dial in a little bit.
Yep.
First play of the game, giving up
Yeah.
a clean whiff and a fucking broken back. Come
And,
on,
yeah,
bro.
Goff did take a shot there. That was concerning.
yeah, 4 sacks sounds off.
And
Yeah.
2 of them were Decker. Like,
Yeah.
that's a
He
problem.
commented on
That's
it,
not-
that we got to be better
Who
about
did?
it. Campbell.
Oh yeah.
head coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
You might have
Yeah.
heard of him.
Yeah. Dan is his name, I
Yeah.
believe?
If you're dropping back for
He's
what
the principal.
15 passes and you're getting sacked 4 times, like can't
And
happen.
it can't be Decker. Like
It can't be Decker.
I
It's gotta
would
be
entertain a problem in the offensive line, but it cannot be Decker.
Yeah.
Like I know you're older, but you just got the contract. That tells me that you can still do it.
Yeah.
So fucking do it.
Really quick, just going to put this in the pot for you guys next week if I'm not here. On the local radio stations, they're talking, oh, maybe we can pick up an offensive lineman if someone's really, crap in the bed as a possible outlook. I just hate giving up any sort of asset at this point in the season for someone that we really don't necessarily need immediately.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put that in the
That's
bucket
fair.
for next
That's
week.
fair. But
Just
I
trying
want to
think
say
about
this.
where we're at next week before the trade deadline.
I want to say this, and I love where we're going with the Lions because we're not necessarily talking about the game that was a fucking epic, awesome bloodbath
Yeah.
from all offensive and special teams categories. I'm at a point, and this won't be a popular opinion, I'm willing to trade all of the draft picks for next year. All of them.
I'm not against
I'm in.
trading the picks. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would.
I was
we've
thinking
done
about that.
so good
I'd love an
drafting.
example of what we're going to get out of it. but
Whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want. You want to spend a
give me
third rounder
the
for
second,
you want
second
a
DN from the Browns and
sure.
Yeah,
and here's a third rounder for Carlos Ruiz.
Zadarius Smith.
Here's a good
Yeah.
backup
Yeah. That's who
offensive
I've been-
lineman. A fourth and a fifth rounder for what did Adams go for? A fifth rounder, fourth rounder,
I
third
think it was
rounder.
4th.
conditional
Conditional fourth,
bump
yeah.
up.
If
I
they go
mean,
to the Super
seriously,
Bowl, it
here's a
turns into
second,
fourth.
a second and a third from somebody, for somebody, a fourth
Or
and a
it's a
fifth for
fifth.
somebody, and a first for somebody.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
could take
I-
a year off from the draft because we have drafted so well. that can pay off in two different areas.
Yeah.
One, in the structure of your team, and two, we can take a draft off and use that capital to get good younger talent with contracts we can manage going forward.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
Yeah.
I hope they're thinking about it. And you know what? Honestly, they probably are because they're fantastic front office.
Yeah. There's a reason they're sitting up there.
Yep. All right, back on track. So
Here we go.
Chris,
Danny
he
P.
goes. No, we got to get Chris. We got to finish him up. So he went 2
We don't need to talk
He
about
went 2 and 4 on the week. He's got 2 points in the new race to 25. I think that ties him for last place. That's disappointing. Overall, he is 22, 25, and 1. He's fighting back to 500 like a gangster. 22.5 points. He's near the bottom in that, but you know what? He'll be back. We lost the bottom of the screen, so we got to do.
There it is. I'm going to go ahead and start off Danny P in the college. Bama Mizzou under the 57. 34 to nothing. Nice call. Nice call on that one, Dan.
It was a rocking chair bet until late, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, if get a couple of scores here, it was gonna get sad. But no, that was the strongest bet I felt about really the whole weekend. And as you'll see, the rest of my Saturday went in the toilet pretty quickly.
Yeah, you took LSU plus the 3 against Texas A&M. We talked about that game.
We kind of touched on that already, so we can just go ahead and forget about that. LSU just
lost.
Why don't you tell us about Arizona?
Talk to me about Arizona minus 2.5 going up against West Virginia.
So this was a game that, while on paper, you're looking at it, the line has moved to 5.5 for Arizona to cover. So with West Virginia's getting 5.5. I'm hearing rumors, VSiN, wherever, late night podcast with erotica mixed in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that possibly people in West
Got that
Virginia are
music
like,
like this in.
hey, fire this dude, and then maybe we bring in Saban, because he's from that area apparently originally, which I find that to be absolutely just, you know what, West Virginia, I hope that happens for you. But I'm thinking, okay, these dudes have checked out, they got to go cross country, play an Arizona team that I trust about as much as a wet fart after a bender. But the line had moved 3 points, Chris. I'm like, we got to jump on them. So I jump on them, and they don't go and do a damn thing. They were just a sad, like, I'm done betting Arizona.
Yeah.
Maybe get back on the train in basketball, but like I'm done with the Wildcat football team.
I want to say I picked Arizona like week 1 or week 2, like early on, and I might have done it twice or something, and like the Chiefs, it pissed me off, and I was like, I can't fuck with these guys
They can't be trusted.
Each of you, real quick, first number that comes to your brain, percentage that Nick Saban goes to West Virginia.
4.
You said 4?
4%.
4% that he goes? Or like 1.5%.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean,
Like, I don't know how low you can make that percentage to not bet.
it really
the under.
depends on Saban's ego, man.
But
you know what I mean?
that's
Like,
why I gave it to 1.5.
What a great
That's
thing
why I
just
have to
like
give it
to
to
like
over.
not just like his legacy's cemented,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Like he's a Hall of Famer, maybe the best ever, all the statues. But like just to like rub one out on everybody that might want to try to come for me,
Right.
I'm gonna go to West
I'm gonna go to
Virginia
West
and win a
Virginia.
title.
Okay.
Real quick.
I have to comment on
powerhouse.
this because that's so great. I think he needs another year off, or maybe even another. Like
I just think he needs a better situation.
Oh no!
He's
It's
gonna-
got to be West Virginia. It's got to be down here.
It's got to be Tulane or West Virginia.
Yeah, right.
All right.
So,
All right. So Danny P,
All right.
he goes 3-3 on the week, which I probably should add that in there so I don't have to do quick math. He's going to have 3 points on the race to 25. Keeps him out of the cellar. He's 26.
What was his bro? You didn't give him his bro.
Oh, did it? Is that right? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, you're absolutely right.
yeah, we have a talking point in my pro. Actually,
We do.
too.
We do. I very much apologize. I was killing that.
Save
too.
that game for last.
Okay. We're going to go Denver -9. I probably wanted to drive to his house and give him the old school tipper right to the ball sack for betting on Bo Nix. But he did, and I didn't.
I
and
looked
they
at that
won.
game for 2.5 seconds. And I was
The
like,
only
no,
reason it worked is because you're
no.
going against Spencer Rattler. So that's a win. Nice job, Danny P,
That's a good
betting
call.
against Spencer
Yeah.
Rattler. Maybe the worst quarterback to ever be on Netflix.
Oh, man.
The New York Jets -7. They have to go into New England and get a win. They got Devontae
I thought this
Adams.
was going to be that game.
They've got
I
Aaron
almost got
Rodgers. They've got Brees Hall and Garrett Wilson and a sauce.
They've
they
got like
everybody.
9 former Packers.
Listen,
New
the
York
New
Packers.
England Patriots +7 was always the side to be on. Danny Money Mayor went the other way and took an L.
He said, "Give me Aaron Rodgers
So,
in the
really
7th."
quick, I'm gonna try and speed this up. Mayo calls the Pats weak the week before. You watch this Jets team lose the week before, and you're like, they've got to get it together.
Have to. There's no way they're
They've
that
got
bad.
it. Now, I hated the number, but I kind of was up against it with a couple other picks that I really didn't feel good about. And I was like, if there's going to be a time, plus, really quickly, is there a team like more unlikable than the Jets? I fucking hate
No,
it.
there isn't.
But,
There isn't.
I hate the Jets.
And I hated myself for having to do it, but I'm like, hey, let's ride with it, and then that's what it is. It's over with, and they showed who they are. They're nobody. I mean, the Patriots have nothing, and they played fundamentally solid football.
Did you watch a bunch of the
Oh,
games?
a lot of
did
it.
you?
Oh, yeah.
I wish I would have. That would have been a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So listen, let me ask you this: is Aaron Rodgers retiring after this year?
I see. This is a great question. So here's the thing. And I hate to do this.
It's
guys.
another ego
It
now
is.
that you're talking
I don't know
about.
how big his ego is. Like,
Yeah.
if he had
He
half
should.
a brain, he should go grab he should go grab a couple pounds of mushrooms, maybe some sort of fiber that helps you with that, like when you're crushing a lot of mushrooms, and go do your thing. Because
Yeah.
I hate everyone hates him. He's completely off the
Nobody
reservation,
likes him.
and he's
got
this
nothing to
elitist that actually really can't play anymore. Like he can't carry a team anymore.
No.
So should he retire? Yes, really. I don't fucking know, and truthfully, I don't give a fuck. But I'm done betting on him.
I would love to continue watching him lose year after year. If he, I can do like Tom Brady. I'll play till I'm 45. No, the fuck you can't. Take you and your Achilles and go on and get it.
So if you're keeping score at home, Worm is now never betting on Arizona or Aaron Rodgers. All right, so
Thank you,
Worm is
thank you.
batting 500 going into the rookie quarterback blockbuster that is the Washington Redskins versus the Chicago Squares, who I could not hate. I might hate Chicago more than I hate Aaron Rodgers as a whole and the Jets. He
Is
takes
it Chicago or is it their fans?
It's
'Cause
just
their
it's
fans are
Chicago.
fucking
It's
obnoxious.
Caleb Williams. It's Brian Urlacher. It's Chicago. It's all of it. I'm not a fan. I hate them all. I did
It's
really.
Justin Fields.
I did
it's
like-
Trubisky.
Yes.
Just
yes.
keep on
Yes. Thank
going.
you, Chris. Thank you. Who's Khalil Mack going to Chicago? That was dumb.
That was dumb.
They're
He
just
could have came to
stupid.
Detroit.
I fucking hate him.
He could have came
I
to
was
Detroit.
gonna say
It was a
something, I
bidding
lost
war
it.
between the two, and he's like, I see a brighter future in Chicago.
So everybody's seen the fucking highlights. It was incredible. It was a fantastic end. Now I want to say this about the game. So Worms got Washington plus the 2.5. We all know the result of that, but I want to say this: Chicago, and I think I was even talking to you, or you, one of you. I said Chicago has no business being in this game at 12-0. It was like going into the fourth quarter. They had no business. It should have been 47,000 to nothing, but it was 12-0, and they were driving. And I was like, damn it, they're gonna get a motherfucking touchdown.
Yeah.
They're gonna get a motherfucking stop, and they're gonna have a chance to do this, and they did.
And then you get reminded it's the Bears.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right when you're like, oh my God, they're gonna pull this off, and then the Bears
Do Bears.
do Bear stuff.
So that starts at the top. You got the guy over here partying with going at the crowd. What an idiot. Here's the story, too. I'm going to take a
over
different
there
angle on
with.
this.
Oh,
It's
Fascinating.
the funny part is, I'm sorry, I'm
Yep,
cutting you
you're
off.
fine.
The funny part is about him doing that. If he would have kept doing that and not even went over there and tipped
They
the ball,
might have won.
Right.
They
You're
might have
right.
won.
Right.
That's a great take.
That's a
I
fair
had
point.
not thought that.
That's a fair
That's so
point.
true.
Everyone's criticizing about like, just stay over there, and you would have won the game.
Yeah. Well, so I think that starts at the top. I mean, I hate the
You're
Bears,
right.
too.
No, you're right.
But whatever, dude. If you
Oh, yeah.
got a guy that's not locked in on the field,
Does that happen
I
if
mean,
you're
I'm
a
not
Detroit
trying to go
Lion?
Rudy on you right now, but like,
Does that happen if you're a Detroit Lion?
No, not
There's
even
no
close.
way
Did you
you're
see
allowed
Terry
to
Nardo?
walk back.
Did you see him over there doing
No
that?
chance.
let me tell you something. If that
Carlton
happens
Davis,
here,
they would do
I
that.
feel confident enough that someone in the front office is going to be like, here's your papers, Pat.
Here's where I'm at with that. Let you go, and I'm gonna send it right back to you. I'm so confident in the front office, they're not bringing a guy in that would do that.
Funny you bring that up
Yeah.
because I wanted to talk about Chase Young, but we'll maybe talk about that next week. The thing that I think this does even solidified more for me is two things, and I'm going to actually hang myself from Merck's garage. How many weeks ago did we talk about a Commander's future for the NFC?
About 3.
At least, minimum. Never got on it, lazy, and just, like I'm not sitting on a bunch of bankroll either, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So
Really?
I want to puke about that.
With the name
Still
like
gotta
Money
keep the
Mayor,
lights
I
on,
thought
but-
he had that
Right, I know.
bankroll.
Well, that's the we want everyone to think that. But and then Jaden Daniels, a guy that I probably wasn't super high on. He
No,
played in the SEC.
I
I
missed
didn't
that.
watch him play a whole lot. I mean, I knew he won the Heisman. Find yourself pulling up plays like that. I mean, he's just got this demeanor about him. I mean, he's
Very C.J. Stroud-esque.
I would,
isn't he?
I would
With a
like
little
to
bit
see him
more
put a little weight on.
athleticism.
Yeah,
I'd like to see him put a
Sure,
little
well,
weight
he's
on.
19 years old.
Yeah. So, but I think the command. I mean, that's the NFL Rookie of the Year right now.
For sure. But here,
So-
I do want to say
Please,
this.
jump in.
It is not okay that you can't get tackled and not get hurt.
That's
You've
great.
got to find a
Yeah.
way to organize your body to stop fighting for that extra inch, which I loved, obviously, right? You love the dog. Get the next blade of grass, for sure.
Mhm.
But, bro, you are him, and I
One man
need you
needs
to
to
be
make
him
one
next
phone
to him.
call to RG3.
Right,
Yeah.
and that's definitely happened. So we've got Wormy taking Washington plus the 2.5. He goes 2-1 in the pro game, 1-2 in the college game to give him 3 points on the new race to 25. I believe that puts
Saved
you
my weekend.
in the middle of the pack. He is 26, 21, and 1 tie to give him 26.5 points. I believe that's going to put him also in the middle of the pack, well within striking distance. I think the leader's 2.5 points on top.
Points are
of you.
close.
No, it's all
Points
tight, and
are
it's going to
close.
stay tight. So great season thus far. We're officially at the halfway point. Right, week 9 coming up in the NFL. You're right here in the mix.
I'm just happy
Over
to be in it.
500.
Yeah.
Right, that's always a good spot to be. And
It does feel good as long as you're above 500, right?
yes, sir. Good luck going
Thank you.
forward. All right, moving on to Jason Rose. Chris,
Jason
talk to me about his
Rose.
college picks.
All
Actually,
right.
you know what? I know you prefer me doing the college, and I would like to do the college on this one. Do you mind?
Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, right. He takes Cincinnati
Avoid that.
and Indiana.
Love that. Thank you.
Those were going to be Rose's picks. I'm curious to see how long he takes this. He's been riding those two
Yes.
horses all season long, and they've been paying off. This week, he goes 500 on those. Since he was not able to cover against Neon Dion, that didn't go well. Cincy -4 was a loss. Indiana -6 was a win, and I believe that was a win pretty early. They got on top and didn't look back.
Call that a rocking chair win.
Yes, sir, we do. He took the MSU Spartas minus the 5. We do know that it had. Wait. No, I'm not going to do it. They don't know. Yep. That not only was a loss there, but I do believe you also lost $100 via the WhatsApp text thread. So that's a
Oh, I forgot about
1
that.
win and 2 loss college picks for you. He has been dominant, folks, in the college game.
Yeah.
2-1, 2-1.
A rare weekend for Rose.
I'm going back again. 3-0, 3-0, 2-1. A rare 1-2 for the Rose in the college game. I respect that you took the Spartans on your picks. You probably put 19 seconds into thought on this one because you love your Cincy, you love your Indiana, and you were always going to have to go with MSU with that
Yeah,
chirp
it's
chirp
probably
you were
pretty,
bringing.
pretty quick college pick. for
Yep,
him.
fired him off real quick. Didn't even need to submit him this week. I love that you took MSU and lost.
A little bit more out of that MSU offense.
Just a pinch more. Just a tad.
Throw the ball to Nick Marsh.
Nick Marsh, give it to him. We don't even have a quarterback.
All right, Rosie's pro picks. Here we go. He had the Packers -4.5 versus the Jags. That was a
I'm
loss.
so
They did win,
happy.
but they only won by 3.
So
He also was on that Washington train plus the 2.5. That was a win. We just talked about how terrible Chicago is. And
What a
then the
funny-
Lions. I feel like he probably was pretty quick on his college ones too. You got to jump on his bet
Pro
against
ones?
Caleb Williams.
yeah.
And then the Lions minus the 11.5. I don't know if you guys know, but they won 52-14. So 2-1 in his pro to go 3-3 on the week.
Very
Good job,
good,
Rose.
very good. 3
Good job.
points on the new race to 25.
Go green.
Rose has a very respectable 27-20-1 overall record, giving him 27.5 points for the season. Nice job. And that's coming with an 0-3 week on a no submit for college. So nice job, Rosie.
That's actually very impressive.
All right, Big Mike.
Cousin Mike.
How'd he do?
Rosie.
That's my
Danny
cousin.
P. Danny P. I just went off Rosie. I was looking at Rosie's name. Danny P. Let him know how he did.
On the college games? All right. Ooh, well.
Is it?
Yep. We, looks like.
I would have wrote in cleaner handwriting
you're
if
fine.
I knew there'd be somebody next to me and they could read my notes. But
You know,
chicken scratches.
we had a couple of guys go here with the Navy team getting 13 and a half. Unfortunately, we saw Notre Dame kind of handle business there. So that's an L. Game number 2, it looks like we went with the over on U of M MSU.
Interesting.
I was going to say,
take on
very
that.
ballsy pick.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
over
wish
so
you
long
would have
is
called
like
me and
right.
talked to me. I would have talked you out of it, man. I would have talked
But
you out of it.
this is the one. I think it came in at 41. He lost by
Yeah.
the
He lost by the hook.
No,
He did lose
and
by the
that's
hook.
good.
Yeah, no, yeah. It was
That's a
41,
killer.
yeah. I got it right there.
That would have been
41.
the contrarian angle to take,
Oh,
though. And
absolutely.
that's another one. I wrote it down.
That's
I was like, damn, dude, I kind of
I
like that.
did it
bet.
I did it last night with Steelers and Giants.
Right,
You know.
exactly.
So I like the mindset. It just you just you get home. And then another one here on Oregon, Illinois.
Nice job.
Over 54.5 doesn't get home. Oregon just brought the belt out.
Chris is going to have to score on that. Was that one close?
38-9 was that one. That was, they hit 47, so yeah.
Listen, real quick, to jump in. I don't want to play Oregon next week.
Oh, I
or
agree.
this week.
I don't blame you. I don't want to play Indiana.
I think I'm actually just gonna take the week off. Not gambling, of course not. But like I might just like
Of course.
check out on that.
As a
game.
Michigan
yeah.
fan, without doing research, and I know I'm not holding you to it, but what's the number for Michigan?
I know
Oregon?
what the number is.
Do you?
So I
okay.
wanna-
All right.
I
I don't.
wanna-
I don't
I
know what the
legitimately
number is.
don't
Like-
know.
I wanna
I
get
swear to
yours.
you,
You
I
want
don't
to know
know.
what the number needs to be for me to put money on?
Yeah,
Michigan?
that's what I
Oh,
want.
you know what the number
I
is?
don't.
Oh, okay.
You've got $1,000
I
and you have
want-
to take Michigan.
I have to take Michigan.
Yep.
I got two. I got two questions for you. I want
Okay.
I want the number that you think it is, and I want the number that it's going to take you to bet it.
That's a great job.
Okay. So the number I think it is, or at least I think it's probably
No, what do you think it is?
Yeah,
Not what you
probably
think it should
20
be.
and a half, 20 in a hook. I would need at minimum 24 and a half to take Michigan.
All right, Stevie. What do you think it's at, and what do you need it at for you to take Michigan in the points?
Freaking
I know.
I heard it. I heard it.
That's
He just
actually
blasted it
it's
in the
actually
woods.
Aaron Judge out there.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I
Just that Aaron Judge
I
in
can
October.
really respect that, and I'm not saying this number because I think you're wrong, but I think it's under that. I think it's going to be something more like 16 and a half. I don't think they're going to get to 17, but I would need 21 and a half.
It's at. Want to know what it's at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 15 and a half.
Yeah, I would
you're
think
close.
16 somewhere in
You're
there.
close.
Give
And
me a
I would
suitcase of
take
money, I'm
Oregon.
putting it on Oregon
Oregon
at that
minus
number.
the 15.
Not even close. It's not even close.
And it's
you going
in
to
Ann
Oregon,
Arbor.
right?
It's-
Oh, is it in Ann
Isn't
Arbor?
it? Or is that
Oh,
in Eugene?
I
It's
literally
probably
don't
in Ann
know.
Arbor
I
because
thought
swear
all
you
of
guys
our
get
big
every
games
fucking
were at
home
home
game.
from the after.
I think it's in Ann Arbor because if it was in Eugene, I'd need 30.
All right.
Yeah, you might be right.
All right,
Anyway.
so we've got Mike going 0-3 in the college game. Just a tough first half of the season for Big Mike. Tough week to start the weekend. He was probably a bridge jumper, but he rolled into the NFL slate with 3 picks anyways. He took Minnesota on Thursday just to add to the ball kicking that
So
he
yeah,
took on
imagine that
Saturday.
really quick. So he's going to lose that Minnesota game on Thursday, and then just get steamrolled on Saturday.
He didn't give a fuck. He
Yeah.
probably went to the orchard
Midnight
after.
Right?
He said, "Fuck it." But
He's
if you
sitting
stayed
at
and watched football on
0-4
Sunday,
Saturday.
you watched the.
Oh man, 0-4 on Saturday. He definitely went to the orchard.
What a just kick
He's
in the
like, fuck
dick.
sports.
Oh,
Fuck
sports
these
sucks.
guys.
And then he takes the Commodes. They're getting 2.5. We talked about that. He has to wait for a Hail Mary in the late game to feel a win on that one. And then his next pick is Monday night. So he didn't
Yeah,
have a
even-
win until
he's-
Sunday
I
night.
didn't even think about that. Washington, Chicago, he's sweating.
No doubt. Well, it's a loss. He's staring 0-5 in the face.
Yes,
and he gets
and
a
he
Hail
gets
Mary.
a Hail Mary.
Right.
Hey,
It is a
this
Hail
that's
Mary.
what you need to turn a season around.
I agree.
All right, if I'm putting $1,000 on one of us, I'm betting on Big Mike
And
to
then
just
he's gotta-
steamroll the second half after the Hail Mary, and then he wins on Monday night.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
Monday
and the
night.
Giants over 36.
And those are two trash teams. Well, Pittsburgh's playing pretty good, but Giants are trash. But that I'd be sweating that one coming in 1-5.
Well, we just talked about it.
Or
Wormy
basing
said-
a 1-5 going into Monday Night Football. Holy
Yep,
cow.
an over, and those are your quarterbacks.
And an
you're picking?
over, yeah. No.
Woo, child, but it's a win. So he goes 2-4.
You got a wheelbarrow to carry them nuts around? Holy cow.
Yeah.
2-4 on the week, 2-1 in the pro game. He's got 2 points in the new race to 25. That puts him in the cellar with his cousin Chris. He is
Hello, Chris.
1-1, 26-1 on the season. You're not far from 500. You're there, baby.
It's a good week.
21.5 points, one good week, and you're right back in everything. Rooting for you, Big Mike. And on to Cousin Pat.
Cousin Pat.
That's my cousin.
Go ahead. Give me some of Cousin Pat.
Cousin Pat. In the college game, Texas Tech, TCU, he took the over 67.5. They hit 69. Giggity. That's going to give him a win. He took the Hurricanes minus 21 against Florida State. They win 36-14. 22.
Yep.
22 they win by.
That was another one.
Man,
Yep.
he sweating. A lot of people sweating this week. And then Okie State, Baylor under the 65. They hit, was it 28-30, 28-38. I got a win there. You got a win there?
I have a loss.
I have a loss too. Because I just looked. I was like, no, that was the one we were talking about. I didn't fix it, remember?
Oh,
we
yeah.
were talking about it. I
This
was
is
like,
correct.
it was 1 o'clock in the
Yeah,
morning.
the screen's correct. You're not.
I got the under, and I circled the over. I did the math right.
Yep,
I did the math right. I just
a
put
loss,
a W
though.
there. It's a
2-1
loss.
in the
2-1
college
in the
game.
college.
Okay.
2-1 in the college. I
Okay.
forgot to fix that before.
Danny P.
Pre-production.
Yep.
How'd he do in the NFL, buddy?
Heading to the pro game. So we're on the Lions, and we all know how that went. Bloodbath. So that's a dub. Interesting pick here. Green Bay minus 4.5. Ends up being a loss. Let's talk about this briefly.
Sure.
Jaguars team, untouchable earlier in the year, has now pulled in a couple half-point covers these last couple weeks.
Agreed. And listen, Jacksonville's a team that I was very high on. Invested season long and with the fantasy game.
Yep.
I still, for some dumb reason, think it's in there. It's like they're the new Atlanta Falcons for me. I always feel like this was the Atlanta
Yeah,
Falcons.
it's actually a great comparison.
But I feel very strongly about Green Bay. I thought that was a nice bet. The 4 and the 5 gets close to the Devil's number in there,
Right.
so that's why I stayed away. But it should have been something I believe they covered. You lose Love early, right? But they love Malik Willis, so
You look serviceable too.
it still should have been a decent number. I'm very excited about this week on the number that you're going to get with the Lions.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal.
I haven't looked at it, but I'm excited to look at it. That's for sure.
You're going to like it. But yeah, Jacksonville should be doing better. Are you on them this week?
There's a chance I could be on Jacksonville any week, depending on the number. I don't know who they got. I haven't given up on them.
Well, here, put this in your pocket. I believe their Christian Kirk is out for the season with a broken collarbone, and I want to say I heard Brian Thomas might be out also. And he is having a fantastic year at rookie wide receiver. So think about that going forward with Jacksonville. Cousin Pat, you're going to go 2-1 and 2-1. A very, very, very strong 4-2 on the week. You're at a very healthy 25, 21, and 2 on the season. You've got 4 points in the new race to 25 and 26 points overall, with your 2 ties being worth a half a point each. Looking good. First season, rookie season for Cousin Pat, and he's doing a very good job. I feel like we might listen to a lot of the same people with your Texas Tech, TCU, and Miami pick. I was going there also. And even with your pro picks, I've been noticing over the weeks. I think we're on the same things a lot. So, and I'm in first. So you're doing good, Pat. My drink's almost gone. This is taking too long,
Dude,
I know.
they're down.
I know.
They're down.
My drink is
All right.
gone.
We need a bartender.
Oh, we got to scroll up.
Yep.
All right, Stevie B. Danny P. Let Stevie B know how he did in the college because I don't want to touch it.
I got
I don't
you.
even
Wait,
want
no. I think we, for respect purposes, I think Chris is going to have to do the college breaks. We can't throw it to the guest to start us out.
Why not?
He's here for the close. Go ahead. Give us my college picks, sir.
All right, yeah. LSU +3. Texas A&M. All right, LSU +3. That was a loss. Navy, Notre Dame under 52.
That was the only way to attack
Notre
that
Dame
for me.
almost got to 52 by themselves. That's a terrible fucking pick. You're horrible at this. I don't even know why you fucking do it.
So I'm 0-2.
So you're 0-2.
And then what'd I do?
Then you went Michigan -5 against my Spartans, and you get your one win for your college picks. 1-2 in the college. Danny P, how the fuck did he do in the pros?
Wait, so I went 1-2 in the college game?
1-2.
And my one
1
win
and
was
2. That's called a losing record in the college game.
my one win was which one again?
I don't remember. I've lost my notes. It's really windy out here.
Here, real
Like
quick, before we get
Dorothy's
into
house.
my pro picks, because my drink is gone, Danny P brings gifts, okay?
Always, baby.
Some people show up to podcasts and they bring pizza or something like that. If you're out in Vegas, I don't know.
This
But
is the
here in the South Lyon,
The
This
Money
is a true
Mayor
story.
brings
the
Fireball.
money braver.
I showed up to Danny P's house trick-or-treating with my daughter, and he had Fireball.
True that. I was still the mayor then.
Hey, cheers to you guys. Cheers to you guys.
Week
guys.
9 of the picks
Week
this week.
9 of
Good
the
luck
picks.
to everybody.
Can I see some IDs?
Oh, it's like,
Oh, the police are here.
it's like Christmas time. Only if you grab me another beer.
All right, so yeah, just a quick recap before we throw it to Danny P for the NFL. I went 1-2 in the college game, with my one win being the University of Michigan, where those who stay will be champions. Beat up on little brother down the road in an absolute bloodbath.
About to get spanked by Oregon.
Yeah, it's probably true. Anyway, out of the pro picks.
Out of
Danny
the pro
P.
picks, Danny P.
I love the strategy here. Stevie's been a numbers guy.
He's been
He decides to go with 3 over-unders this weekend, and it pays off.
he did that for a while there in the beginning.
Right, I think it
and
bit
then
him.
he kind of
Gotta bit him a little.
It bit him, and he
Yeah.
kind of faded
We
away.
had to refocus.
Right.
We had to readjust.
Well, he had it right here. So we go to Carolina, Denver. I was in on that game. I like the under. That's a solid play.
4 words.
Yeah,
Bryce, Young, Bo, Nix.
yeah,
Under 5, I would have taken
yeah.
it.
Under 43.5, it hits home.
At 42, you got it by a point
I
and a half.
know.
Yeah.
Over there, talking like
you
it
had
was
to
a
be
lot.
sweating it.
I was
Come
sweating it. But that was some late bullshit, though. That was, if you
Oh,
guys
I watched
it,
that game.
yeah, there was a
Oh my-
fucking backdoor garbage touchdown on that
She
game.
got me another beer.
I know you're welcome.
Yeah, thanks for getting one, babe.
Well, I asked. I asked. I
New
used my
Orleans, LA Chargers. I love this too. And it makes sense now that I'm
Yeah.
looking at it.
I know. That's when
Under
I was going through
41,
Steve's picks.
right?
I'm like, all these make sense, and it
Yes.
pisses me off.
It's the dub.
4 words. Spencer Rattler, Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah. Although,
Because he's been preaching Harbaugh unders
Right.
all season.
but Herbert has been throwing more.
No, they are. No, yeah, I agree with you. My
So-
leaning on Jim Harbaugh for unders might be starting to
Well,
come to an
he
end.
might be being forced to a place where if this team wants to really challenge for a playoff spot, they're going to have to mix it up.
Well, and for what I feel like I have a little bit of a read on Harbaugh. Like, I think there's some serious progression going on in the quarterback room, and the offense might really start to take some.
Well, I like that kid from wideout at TCU that
Yeah,
killed us.
he's doing a nice job. And what I think I might have to do, and here's the little thing, I'm in first place on whatever. You should probably listen to me. I might start leaning on the number
Thank
more
you.
than the over under for them to cover, because I do think the offense is progressing through Jim Harbaugh's mentality, and he knows how to fucking win. Period.
Moving on.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. No, we're just moving. Buffalo, Seattle. I couldn't have been more off on this game. I sprinkled a little on Buffalo money line some places. Some places I took a little Seattle and some points because I just didn't know how to feel about it. Stevie takes a different approach. He says, "Hey, how about under 47?
Yeah.
And watch the Bills
I was going
get
back
out the
and forth on his side,
lawnmower and run over the Seahawks like 8 times,
Yeah.
and still hit the under."
Yeah.
I don't know what the final score was. Okay, 31-10.
31-10, yeah.
So covers with some room. impressive NFL ticket for Stevie. Tres y cero.
Yes, sir. I needed it too, and this is the real. And I'm going to be totally honest with you. Chris knows how oblivious I am to my own picks.
Oh yeah.
I took it a step further this week, and I knew that LSU won and covered, and I was like, "Fuck, I went 5-1."
There was
I
times
literally knew I went 5-1 until today when I was putting everybody's records on.
I was going to say last year it was me keeping track of everything on a sheet, and Steve didn't have any of this. And like, I would show up and he'd be like, "I think I went 4-2 or 3-3." And I'm like, "You went 5-1. Do you even know what you picked?" Like,
I just forget,
So, yeah,
and like Danny said, I listen to so
I have
much
to go
shit,
back and look
and I
at mine
make so
too.
many bets. I just forget what
I look at so many numbers, and then I
Yeah.
put my picks in it. All I'm thinking about is the 20 games that I looked at and mixing it all up, so I forget them too.
All right,
It
don't hate me
happens.
for this, guys. I say let's go through a quick rundown of the standings. I do want to touch on a personal matter about Daddy sitting on a Dodgers.
Oh yeah, all right,
sweet
yeah.
ticket
Oh, yeah.
tonight. And if
Love
we
it.
want to talk about possible
yeah.
hedging ideas, but if we go over the standings one more time, we're closing in on an hour here.
Oh
Are we
I'll
now?
fire 'em
Yeah,
up.
I love it. Fuck it.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
hey, real
I-
quick, I'm 29-9. That's going to be
Yes.
4 points on the new race to 25. I think that gets me tied with cousin Pat, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm just stoked that I'm only 3 games
Yeah.
behind you. at
No,
this
listen,
point.
everybody's in it. Listen, I think cousin. Here we go. Go to the
you and
overall.
You and Pat went 4-2.
Here it is, right here.
Me, Chad, Mike went 2-4, and you, Danny,
Yep.
and Rosie went 3-3.
Yep. And if you go by our overall standings, Mike, I believe, Mike's going to be in last place at 21.5.
But he's a bad week, or he's a good weekend away.
And I'm at 29.
Right.
I do a
Yeah.
2-4, you do a 4-2, and all of a sudden we're getting even tighter.
Next year, maybe we put enough money in the kitty to have like a group team therapist, like for when
We
you have
could.
those 0-3
We'll get a
days.
few more people. Let's get up to 10, and I
Right.
think we can. I
Anybody
think
have
we
enough
can
bank
fit
balance?
that
I don't
into
see
the
our
budget.
numbers
teasing
going
that.
down. We might lose a
think-
guy here and there, but I think we're going to
I
grab
think
one
we're
or
gonna
two every
continue.
single
We've
year.
climbed every year. It started at 3. We're at 7. All right, real quick. Stevie B's in first place, 29-19. Like he said, 29 points. In second place, tied is Chad and Jason, 27-20-1 for both of them, 27.5 points. Right behind them is Money Mayor himself, 26-21-1 for 26.5 points. Nipping at his heels is cousin Pat at 25-21-2, 26 points, only half point behind Danny P. And behind him, a little further back, is going to be me at 22-25-1 for 22.5 points, and cousin Mike right behind me by 1 point at 21-26-1 for 21.5 points.
There it is. It's tight. It's going to be fun. We're halfway
Yeah.
through the season. I fully don't anticipate going wire to wire. I mean, the picks prove it. Everybody's right there. You're one slip up from being in, from
Yeah.
going from first to fourth.
I believe for you, Steve, Chad, Rosie, and cousin Pat, I think you all have touched first place. I think us in the bottom, whether it was a tie at first or holding
Put me
on
down
to it
with
solely.
the cart. We're just trying to get up to the top.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, no. That's
You know
what I'm
who's
saying,
touched it every week? Is
But
me.
Danny P, you have moved
Every
up there.
I
single
roped together a couple good 5 in
Yeah,
1 week. That helped.
you've moved up
So-
there. And like it's
All right, I'm going to shift
It can
gears here,
happen.
here to
Go
just to
blue.
close the show.
Yeah, you
Okay.
do you.
Here's what we got.
We got 5 minutes with
I've-
Money Mayor. What do
I've
we
got a $9 ticket on the Yankees to sweep the
The
Dodgers to sweep the Yankees tonight. And I'm considering some hedge options. I'm over here looking at the live line. The Yankees are the favorite, 135, minus 135 on the money line. My concern is I hate that number. Like, I'm going to have to throw 20 on it to win my money back off this original bet.
Yeah.
Do I?
said
here-
135.
Yeah, so here's the thing is so the bet I have at Caesars will lock once the game starts.
Yeah.
So my options are I can cash out, which we're not going to do. It's $9 pays $46.90 right now. If the Dodgers win tonight, it pays out $114. So I'm considering, and this is I'm asking for punishment here. Is I'm not going to bet the 135 money line. Like, I'm going to take the Yankees to win by a run and a half at plus money and put less on it.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's a stupid play.
I agree. And here's my one thought that I would really consider if you, because I know you.
Right.
This might be a fun way to approach it.
Right.
Wait for a live number on the Yankees.
Okay.
Let the Dodgers come out, nuts on fire. We're gonna sweep these clowns in their town. Let's do this. Here we go. Get a run.
Right.
And then you dabble on the Yankees a little bit. And the Yankees come back like, wait a minute, more.
Right. And well, if that does happen, so this happened last night, and I went there out, and then they went down more runs. But long story short, I took Yankees plus 1.5, hoping if it did happen.
The hook scares me because I can
agree.
see a bloodbath to the end, right?
Yeah.
We're going 27 innings, and it's going to be a one-run game, right?
So, okay, I like it.
I like the
idea. We'll
I like
We're
the
gonna
idea.
sit on it. We're gonna let the $9
But you have to make a bet on the Yankees.
But I
tonight.
do got to make a Yankees
have
bet
to
at
make a
some
Yankees
point
bet.
tonight. My only concern is if they get up early, the line's going to be
special.
steep. Yeah, and all I need to cover is $9 if I'm really being a jerk about it.
No.
But, like,
You're saying the Yankees get up early?
Yeah, if the Yankees get up early, my money to because it's a sweet bet. If the Dodgers lose, like the bet's dead.
I understand.
Right. So if I'm just betting to make my money back, I would have to put, at minimum.
So that's why you like the 1.5.
Because I'm being
Are you
lazy.
willing to lose both bets in a one-run game?
I can drink my way there.
Okay. Then the bet's right now. The bet's
Love
right
it.
now, and it's minus 1.5.
All right, we're doing it.
Be alive for a $2 Yankees down 3-0 in the second inning in-game money.
Yeah.
line, though.
I am
ready
in-gamer,
for that?
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the Yankees.
I like that
money.
strategy even also. I like putting the 1.5 down
Yep,
if you're
it's
worried
down.
about that.
Based on elimination.
And now you can even
Right.
triple
I like it,
hedge
but I'm
in
also-
game.
Right.
6th place.
Well, it's been
Hey.
an honor and a privilege to be here, guys. I know we ran a little late today, but we had an extra mouth in the room.
Listen, and I'm here for hour-long episodes. You can watch
Yeah.
it, you can not watch it. Literally, nobody can watch it, and I had a great time.
And
Love
we
Money
did
Mayor
have
being
a-
here.
We did have a discussion
Super fucking cool you coming,
earlier.
buddy.
Well, I love you. The
I'm gonna try
question
and
was
be here.
asked.
I'm gonna try and be here as much as I can be.
Be here anytime. Hey, we can figure this out. We can get 4 people. We can get all of us. If all of us are here, we don't need to do a video. But
It would
you get
still
my
be,
point.
but it saves on the page. It still be go back. You could go back in a couple years
Yeah.
and watch and be like, remember that before there was 15 people in the league. And
Dang.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, this is fun. I love it. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Thank Money Mayor for showing
yeah,
up.
appreciate. I started texting him. Steve was texting him. I've
That's
texted
right.
him. I've said it once. I said it before. We were like the St. Brown Brothers podcast they've been trying to get J-Mo for 2 seasons. And we've been trying to get him all year. I just want to say we got Money Mayor before they got J-Mo on theirs.
Listen, I'm not
I
above
mean-
bringing guests on that aren't in the league.
Oh, I
also.
agree.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what I'm
Wanna
saying?
talk
We can
to-
get
yeah.
Rambo in here. Quattro's made an appearance, I
Quattro
think.
I think
and
guest
Sloan
pickers
made appearances.
is a thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, we talked about throwing dice or flipping a coin for picks to go against the coin, but we'll get there. We're signing off. I'm going to
Good
try
luck
not
in
to
week
take
9, everybody.
3 days to send the email for the pick sheet. That's all we got. Chris,
Yeah.
thank you
Yeah,
for all
yeah,
you do.
We will send the
Lots
actual
of hard work.
This
here by
doesn't
these
We'll
guys.
happen.
send the email on time.
This doesn't
time.
happen without Chris and
Totally
his knowledge and dedication. You guys are great. Peace out.